knelt to pray today, but no one was listening anymore. Do I need to fade away or stay here laying down on the floor? I want to know if you be the shoulder that I need. I want to go, so take me to Neverland. Can you help me find a way? Where is the God that I need? Can I get some help today? Lord, help me with the blood that I bleed. I want to know if you be the shoulder that I need. I want to go, so take me to Neverland. Anxiety taking over me, I can't be the only one left. No, society breaking up on me, I just wanna be felt and taken and never left.
Don't give it up. I used to dream about money, about a big house, but all I want is you. Your touch of fire when you love me, desirable, attainable, yeah, all I want is you. We are all the same, fame, attention, confirmation. Why do we care? What is it worth? What is it all worth? We are all the same. We want to be loved, but that is not the same as being loved by you. We are all the same. We want to be loved, but that is not the same as when I'm dream about a cruiser that drove against the wind, but all I want is you. I know that fire when you touch me, my vision gets so dimmed, yeah, all I want is you. We are all the same, fame, attention, confirmation. Why do we care? What is it worth? What is it all worth? We are all the same. We want to be loved, but that is not the same as being loved by you. We are all the same. We want to be loved,
understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you gave to me. Loosening my grip as for you and to me. When I let you go, it just pulled you closer. It's a long departure. It's a long departure. Before I see you again, before it all makes sense, but I can't hold you back. And I still don't understand where it came from, but you're back in with the passion. I'm awake with the flame in a hailstorm. I'm back in, I gotta have it. Everything to do with what you gave to me. Loosening my grip as for you and to me. When I let you go, it just pulled you closer. It's a long departure. It's a long departure. I know we ain't talked in a minute, but what is time? Living in the thoughts and the visions, but between the lines, yeah. I can't even talk with the visions there in my mind. Cause every time I fall, I can feel you there by my side, yeah. So show me the way and I'll follow you. Show me the way, cause that's all I do. Take the leap of faith and I'll dive into my diamonds. I'm finding this divine light inside of you. Tell me that you want me, baby. That ice cold stare, I just wanna know you, baby. From 1 to 3, got me looking everywhere for you. Count the stars you are beside me. Underneath my skin, feel my bones are creeping in. I don't want this love to end. Underneath my skin, when I look into your eyes, see the miracle of light shining underneath your skin. Underneath your skin. Underneath your skin. Wake up in the morning to get a touch from your arm. No regrets, I can't forget the scent you had on. Fingernails, I tell the tales of sex, but you're gone. Now I wonder what's coming next in this song. So show me the way and I'll follow you. Show me the way, cause that's all I do. Take the leap of faith and I'll dive into my diamonds. I'm finding this divine light inside of you. Tell me that you want me, baby. That ice cold stare. I just wanna know you better. From 1 to 3, got me looking everywhere for you. Count the stars, you are my sun. Underneath my skin, feel my bones are creeping in. I don't want this love to end. Underneath my skin, when I look into your eyes, see the miracle of life shining. Underneath your skin, underneath your skin. My skin, feel my bones are creeping in. I don't want this love to end. Underneath my skin, when I look into your eyes, see the miracle of life shining. Underneath your skin, underneath your skin.
Baby, don't you know that when I'm smoking that cloud, got my head in plumes and clouds, you're the one I think of. Baby, don't you know that it's gonna go down when I hit the bottom now, you're the one I think of.
Boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me? Little bottle liquor, boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me? I lost control.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back then to the EPULZE Invitational, the inaugural EPULZE Invitational. We're back for another day of some CS. We've got Dynamo Eclot versus Infinite Gaming on the schedule here in Group B for the winners match, as it is. I'm here, Strom is, DK's here alongside me. DK, a fun day of CS ahead of us.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ambush could not make both games that they were supposed to play, so they forfeited the tournament. That means the match this morning and yesterday was not played, and it also means that Infinite Gaming right now in the winners match, of course, haven't been tried just yet. So this is their first game to be played. Dynamo Eclot did manage to take down Offset, who was waiting in the decider match right after this showdown. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what Infinite Gaming have to offer, because of course we do have another Romanian team in the tournament, and they are probably the team that is to beat.
Yeah, Nexus, obviously, just to clarify. Also, to clarify, you mentioned Offset in there. The loser of this game will be playing Offset in that next game, with the winner going straight into the playoffs as a first place team from Group B. They're going to be playing ESUB, I think, in the semi-final. And then the winner of that decider game that you mentioned, Offset versus the loser of this one, will be playing Nexus in that one. As you mentioned, the other Romanian team that are probably on paper a little bit stronger than Infinite, you'd say. Infinite obviously given a little bit of an easy path here with the forfeit win against Ambush earlier. That was yesterday. And Infinite almost like a subordinate team in some ways to Nexus. People like Siminte haven't taken the path of playing with Infinite before then moving on. You could say stepping up a little bit of a level up to Nexus in recent times, and obviously having to revamp a lot of the roster for the Romanians. It's almost like they are that little brother team in some way. I don't want to say feeder club, but kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, that's especially it with regions where you don't
Yeah.
have too many teams. Romania is definitely one of those regions out there. For Dynamo Eclot, I mean, there are a couple more Czech teams, but it's the same in the case that everyone that sees Dynamo Eclot is thinking Sinners is the main team,
Yeah.
like the main regional superstars, and then Dynamo Eclot and the others are just the brothers, but they can definitely show their stuff as well. And
Yeah,
eventually, that is the team that they're trying to beat and take over the region.
for sure. Yeah, Eclot have been looking really good just in other tournaments, but also here I was really impressed by them against Offset. Had that forfeit against them in the first map and then came back all the way with some impressive wins, especially on Ancient, which we might get to see today. That is the decider. Before that, though, Eclot picking Inferno, but even more so before that, we're getting into Mirage right now, which is Infinite's pick. We'll take you there now. Get the matchup here between Eclot and Infinite Gaming. Gonna be a lot of fun. Mirage.
It's actually one thing that I'm seeing immediately already in this round, and I always hate it when teams don't buy a defuse kit in the pistol. Eclot bought 2. That is something you don't see too often.
Agree.
Which is a little bit interesting. Ooh, the bomb gets dropped already, and Infinite Gaming just got torn apart. Like,
Wow.
easy pickings. Barely got a dent into the defense there.
And here you were talking about sort of the the merit of buying up 2 defuse kits, and it just didn't matter at all, did it? 4 players kept alive in that round. Eclot, they make it through with some brilliant shot making all
But
across
look
the
at
board.
that. One person that had the kit died, so now they only have 1 kit. Oh my god, if he didn't buy that kit there.
They still have the kit.
Yeah, they do, but the
And-
only other person that died.
Sure,
and they did
but it's not
manage
going to
pick it
matter.
up.
Glocks are coming. Valencio, the best on the server at just that. What a
Ooh.
spray down. I think I mentioned it so many times yesterday, where he is almost in a good way, that eco warrior. He is kind of outrageously good at getting those spray downs. It's a thing I don't often bring up, but with Eclot, they have a lot of skilled rifle players like K1 Fida, Nubik, and Valencio as the main fray, who are like uncannily good at just spraying down opponents. It feels like a weird thing to say, but it's just a skill they have, and often picking up double kills as a result. Here's K1 Fida looking for just that. He taps down a couple, placed in the damage on one and killing off the other. There comes the nade. Oh, just about. Still manages to pick another one up though, and so K1 Fida puts Eclot well ahead. Now to close the round instead. There he is. An easy one. It's almost like they were playing against Glocks again. And
Yeah,
they whittled down the
it was
AKs.
kind of weird. For instance, the boost in mid. I mean, I like the boost. I love the fact that they throw out a different strat in their rotation through there. But the fact that he stands still against AKs for so long and doesn't get dinked is baffling to me.
Yeah.
Like, he should have been killed ages ago there.
Probably should have. But he is a menacing presence also. As Eclot have recovered quite a few rifles here. If they keep every single one of these, it's going to look like a T-side economy after 3 rounds, with no one really being killed off. Laula's obviously on that 1 health. K1 Fida causing 99 health points, and could definitely be the one to close out as well, with Eclot looking really strong at the start. This is one of the problems you just have to be ready for if you're the other opponent. Eclot definitely like to get going early. They ramp up the tempo really early on in a lot of these games, and it's easy to see a game sort of slip out of your fingers before it's really even gotten going. When you're playing against an opponent like this. Fida just looking for that final kill then.
Yeah, with 12 seconds left, he needs to make sure he doesn't die after time, because this is very risky. We'll be able to get a kill. Looks for more. 5 seconds left. They just need to make sure he dies after time. Actually, he gets himself a couple still in the process and dies before the timer ends. I'm not the... they were even covering him from both sides, so they could easily take him, but just that second of patience, make sure he has no money to work with in the next round as well, would be absolutely perfect, but... Eclot really greedy for the kills, it seems.
Yeah, I think it still works out. It's not going to be a big issue as long as they sort of handle it in this type of round. Should not be any worries on that front for Eclot, including the economical end. Nubik still on 6k here, so as long as they keep a couple alive in this one, it really should be on a steady economy. Nonetheless, as Infinite do go for another A hit. Mostly Deagle's invested into this round with some utility involved as well. There it was, setting up for the classic connector. Throws that smoke in there, quite quick. Rush should be gearing up for. The players coming to the palace now with the flashes raining through. Suits just behind Flush here. Valencia tags one down. Dieter comes in. Oh, and he comes in quite well. A nice spray down turns out to be 3 kills for him. And Eclot come up with a 4th.
Easy.
Did not look that difficult, did it? Even if Infinite were trying to make it a little bit tough there on the execute.
To be fair, Infinite 4 rounds, 4 kills in the team, you know, that definitely does not bode well for the continuation of the series. But they pick up the AWP. That might actually be a key difference maker because, well, T-side Mirage opping is definitely a possibility. I hope to see some godlike performances here because I love a good opper. And they desperately need it because these rounds have just been looking way too easy for Eclot to gain in their favor.
That was has that been spotted just because of that sound cue, and K1 Fida makes light work of him. Eclot pouncing on that opportunity in such a good way. And now they don't have to do a lot, do they? They can just stand back a little bit here. Dieter, the one covering connector, will be the next man to be challenged. Zerk does peek him down. That's the result. Still looking for the challenge. I'm not sure about that one, Dieter. Zerk to win that one out to even out. What's now a 4-on-4. Valencia in there, but he misses on the fight as well. Zerk completely taking over that A site. He wants to do more. Nubik in CT, the one to man up against him. Finally a kill back for Eclot to make it. Again, that even position coming into what's going to be a post-plant situation. Eclot have the right ID here on the positions with K1 feed on a flank. He's being held down though. Suits! He's got him. And now they really need to upend the numbers. With the time, still the issue here for the CT side. Moving very patiently through and through. Flush misses. Nope, never misses on the CT angle. And that should be the round as Capstan tries to go for more. No hit on him. No health points on him. It's 4-1. Infinite actually do pick up around there. Why did they get around there, do you think, DK? What's the difference?
Honestly, Eclot, they were not playing at all together. Like, they were playing completely separate positions, no utility to block them off either. Any push would have been deadly. You are up against AK, so you got that one-shot potential. For instance, you marked it up in connector as well. He went for that aggressive peek with no one in window or, you know, short to back him up in case it goes wrong. And, yeah, just, it feels like a bit too confident in their approach.
Sure. And they had the man advantage as well. Statistically, Eclot are really good at closing out rounds after getting the 5-4 on basically any map, including Mirage. But that time, not quite the case. So Kira looking for a bit more. Obviously had 2 pretty impactful kills in that previous round. So he gets flashed in. But Dieter has it. He can turn back around, getting some help from Nubik here as well. Up on short, they actually run away from it. And this time, surely they don't overextend. Back into that man advantage as Was gets caught. Only for a bit of damage. Infinite do look for B.
I like the patience there from Eclot in mid. They get a kill, they fall back, they make sure they don't hemorrhage their own players. Because you've got the advantage, and now you can pretty much force them into a tough spot. And they're going to push towards that B bomb site. 2 B bomb site defenders, though. Ooh. And the spray does get some nice tags. Yeah. Smoke's about to dissipate, and there's the full execute coming out from the T side.
K1 feeder in there as well. Molotov is going to touch him. He stands in it and gets the double spray down. Nonetheless, it's going to be Infinite getting absolutely melted down. You said they were overconfident before. I'd say standing in flames is quite a confident move, if not overzealous, but he manages to make it work. The 2 kills from him combined with Nubik proves to be plenty in defending that P site.
To be fair, you know, you are gonna die no matter what, but no one's gonna check a molly. No one.
Yeah, true.
There's no one in the game that thinks, I'm
Especially
gonna keep
after,
an
like,
eye on that molly right there.
Yeah, after like 5 seconds of it ticking as well, right? It was so long in it. As the Deegs come out, Infinite. Another quick set towards mid. Capstan in there, nice little shot on him. Oh, in a second as well, as Nubik comes to play. And it's Eclot. They're really good at winning these easy rounds, aren't they? They seem to sort of rack up a couple of these without any real challenge. Even if at this level those Deagles can often at least provide some issues. Eclot kind of wiped them off the face of the earth pretty often, I'd say.
Capstan was very quick on the move there to get through connector, toss the nade behind him as well to slow them down in case it's needed. And the plus side is, like, he's got backup. His teammates are there. There was one short one in window as well, so they can cover his angles in case he needs him. And eventually that was just enough to get around the corner. Of course, it's a different story if they just randomly hit a 1 Deeg in that situation and then the round turns into an absolute atrocity for the side of Eclot, but luckily enough, Infinite Gaming did not connect the shots in their favor. Currently, we do have a 007, aka James Bond, in the server on the side of Infinite Gaming. Hopefully, Waz will be able to shake out those jitters and get on towards some fragging, because his team desperately needs this. Even though, you know, I would say Mirage is still slightly CT favorite. This is a 6-1 lead is a pretty big stretch, especially considering the CT economy.
I'd agree, for sure. Even if Eclot get a majority of their rounds on CT, it's looking really strong right now. K1 Fida in amongst it in Palace. Tries to bait out another one, flush missing on that attempt. Goes for the Glock instead. K1 Fida delaying them for so long in here. Flush still manages to pick one up and finally eradicate K1 Fida, but they're still going to end up at a man disadvantage. Not ideal in closing out there, but I guess Eclot are still in numbers advantage here.
I mean, I like the fact that Eclot are playing an aggressive CT side. So many teams forget about the fact that you need to make it as uncomfortable for the T's as possible. If you push Palace right now, every single time, next rounds, they're going to check Palace. They're going to be safe, closely checking every angle. They're afraid of a ramp push, apps push, mid push. Like, that's going to be in the back of their minds every single time, and that keeps the enemies from moving aggressively. Either they go very fast or they go very slow. There's no in between right now. Nice shot connecting. Okay, Capstan continues on, and Waz will be easily picked off because Capstan does not whiff. He takes them all down.
He does have those shots in his arsenal, doesn't he? He's not necessarily, in so many of these teams, the Opera is the sort of clear star. I haven't quite got that impression from Eclot, even if he is amongst the top in terms of the scoreboard quite often, and obviously top in terms of rating or amongst the top, but he's still quite a vibrant Opera, quite an electric Opera, as is sort of the modern style.
Oh, Detour needs to be able to fall back somehow, but he's being rushed down in mid. Actually gets a kill. Well, Capstan, of course, connects his shot, taking down Waz somehow. Detour still alive, are you kidding? Eventually does get mowed down by Lols, but yeah, he's alone, 1v3.
Yeah.
And again, with 30 seconds in, and Infinite Gaming have lost most, if not everything. Luckily enough, he runs out of bullets there, but got a little bit dicey, but nonetheless, you know, these rounds, 30 seconds. That Infinite Gaming trying to brute force it, but even when Eclot get caught off guard, they're still so solid in recovery.
Yeah, they really are. They just seem mechanically superior, and I think they're sort of establishing that themselves now when they are closing out like this. Even if it's not by the book always, going a little bit too aggressive almost, they're going to win most of these duels. And Melencio back again against the pistols. You know the rest. As he manages to spray down the 2 first, he comes back in for more. Dieter has a kill in the meantime, so Infinite wrapped it out for the most part here. And when one falls, plenty others are there to take its place. Even after 2 trades. A nice shot there from Waz, but nothing close around. And that has felt like the case for a few too many of these. Infinite, they're kind of getting shot at on every angle. You can almost sense that in the kill distribution from Eclot's side, where it's so evenly spread because Infinite are trying all these different routes. They're trying to go B, and then mixing it up with A and back and forth, but nothing really seems to be working for Infinite right now.
Okay, so with the way things are looking right now, I'm putting the top 2 contenders in this tournament being Eclot versus Nexus. I think that's going to be the grand finals.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those are the 2 #1 teams. So that's not super bold, but I would actually agree with that completely. Would have been fun to see Ambush play to see what type of level they could have brung to this group. Obviously a little bit unfortunate with their situation, having to forfeit the 2 games they were slated to play, but I think Eclot still were always going to be the superior team within Group B, and obviously having potentially, if they win the series,
There's always the hope that Offset steps up. Unfortunately, oh my god, how does he still win out that fight? Unfortunately, that is always, it's what normally was always the phase hope. Oh, this flank from Valencio.
wow.
Okay.
Again, yeah, the mechanics just on point, even
that
if he
shot
gets traded.
was nuts.
Yeah, that's just what you see when you watch Eclot so often. They just hit these 1-taps or double taps, and you feel like they really shouldn't have win so many of these just 50-50 duels, as Infinite are left to wander a little bit further, as Eclot seem to be going to a 10-1 lead here on map 1 of Mirage, which is Infinite's map, I should point out.
That's not over yet. Maybe.
Yeah, Flash can do 7, or Flush.
He's got 13 seconds and no side control, but
Yeah, he doesn't know about
man
car.
can only hope. Yeah, easy pickings coming out for K1. 12-4 for him. I mean, yeah, you mentioned it previously. Everyone on Eclot is fragging, and that's what you love to see. No, well, of course, the superstar is always fun, but just everyone contributing equally, and that's a nicely gelled team in that regard.
Yeah.
Even though Oppers, like most people, I've got a soft spot for Oppers.
Getting back to your point about sort of the grand, not the grand final, but just a grander point, Eclot definitely look like amongst the favourites. But I also think it would be a really fun series if they do win this one out and get to that semi-final, because that would mean they play eSuba in the semi. Obviously, a little bit, again, you mentioned the Sinner potential rivalry, but also with eSuba as the fight for being amongst the best Czech teams, or sort of that region, as it were.
I did see a Czech tournament recently, I think.
Yep.
They probably competed against each other in that.
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah. But I just would find that quite fascinating. As Capson goes back in for more, he is quite good at that. K1 has actually backed them up there. They don't expect this at all. The double push, timed well. Only gets away with it. A bit of damage though. Nubik gets caught. And Infinite Gaming all of a sudden have the man advantage. And maybe even that B site. Capson does come through. But smoked away. Detour spotted out. That's a 3rd kill of the round, as Infinite may have put a few doubts into this being such an easy affair. Just the Tech 9s. As Valencio comes back in, only the 1 kill, and surely not a chance here for Capson, who was trying to go for the early fight, but it's Cirque with a wonderful round. Had 2 pivotal kills in the round previous, the round that they did win. And
just got
has 4 pivotal kills in that round.
Yeah, he just got 200% more kills in that round. That's a pretty nice statistic to add into the book, but you can't base off your game off of one player just getting a miracle round in your favor, and Eclot making a very massive mistake after, of course, that opener. So they need to find something that works. Now Eclot going for a 3-man stack towards the B site. Aggressive EPULZE. Again, they just constantly in your face with that aggression. It will be dealt with by Zerg, who finally is starting to get into his own spots. The player on top of stairs, and that is big. That's the A bomb site in his hands. Lol still in mid as well. And Eclot, they're getting completely caught by surprise.
Yeah, feels like they're resting on their laurels a little bit, as allows. I messed it up just because of the word previous. Laulas will get a few. Flash just about gets that bomb down as well, so no chance now for K1. Fido at least did some damage. We'll have to save this one. I'm not sure. Do you actually save this one? I guess they don't have great money across the board.
Yeah, you kind of want to. Well, it seems it's not really possible.
What was that?
But
Sorry.
you want to. You want to save that gun because there's still 2 rounds to be played. And yeah, they're gonna go for the full investment, but what, can they get guns on everyone? Is there one on the floor or is MBQQ?
Yeah, there is one on the floor. Yep.
Okay, so everyone gets a gun. Utility is not the greatest. You don't need head armor, to be fair. They only have AKs and an AWP. But if you lose this round, then that lost gun would actually mean a lot.
Picking up that first kill. As always, it feels like Eclot able to get to that 5-on-4 really easily. Capson takes another victim.
Yeah, they do get first kill every single time. Like, even though they lost some rounds, they do manage to get the first kill.
For sure, and I feel like that's part of what I mentioned earlier with the whole... with them getting so many easy rounds, right? Even if that's a good shot from Flush. A lot of the easy rounds being won just based on the man advantage. Here, Infinite will still try to come back in it, but are down by 1 still.
Did he just kill him all the way back in apps while he was jumping across?
I think he was jumping just on 1 spot, which was his mistake. I don't think it was an optimal jump spot, and he was kind of jumping a lot of times, but still an impressive shot. He had like a really interesting angle set up there, for Flush.
Yeah, I can just barely see the angle. Yeah, that's like super minimal.
Super tight. Yeah, I don't even know how he noticed the pixels changing by an ever so slight margin. They will attack the A site here, rotating over. Caps and Valencio both standing. Capson surely good for the one, and then Valencio's spray. It's going to be a little bit dangerous as Suits is spotted. Suits is spotted upstairs. That's the Palace and gone. And Valencio's job now to just clear up the rest, as Infinite will not have any control whatsoever of the connector. But there goes one over towards Jungle, and Detour comes back in. Could shut it all down. The spray to leave was on just 7. We will get the plant down, but tougher than ever here on the clutch as that Nubic just went in without fear. And rightly so, it turned out. Gets a 11th round on the board for Eclot. And sort of trumps the hope there of was.
Well, double up setup from Eclot, not too shabby. Let's see who's going to be wielding that secondary. But yeah, it's the last round of the half to be played. Infinite Gaming, 11-3, 12-3, 11-4. Not the biggest amount of difference. But you definitely, if you want to have a chance of coming back, I mean, they started to wake up. Even the rounds that they do manage, that they lose, they do manage to get some decent kills on the side of Infinite Gaming, and it just took a little bit of time before they really started waking up in their approach. Right now, Eclot, not... Again, they're going aggressive in mid, like, peeking top mid with Detour and the bunch. Pushing ramp as we speak as well.
What
so
is
they're constantly getting info.
I don't know about that push from Sir. Straight into K1 feeder. Ooh, really doesn't miss those. Capson the same. As Infinite will go for a desperate try towards A. But they really do look more and more desperate. If this half goes on, Eclot have the information. Flush will hold down though. Takes down Capson. And Valencia was caught. As it is a 3-on-3 Detour. To at least trade it out, but Eclot, a bit of jeopardy here to make it a 12. Could end the whole map if they do get it, but instead K1 feeder alone. Should have spotted out Laula's right there. With Suits hiding away in stairs. It's actually rotated over now towards Jungle instead. K1 feeder, not a lot of information on that front, but makes it a 1-on-1 nonetheless as he is tagged down. Flash to crossover.
Not planted for Suits.
Yeah, that's right. He has a kit. Suits, no nade to use, and Suits will try to play it cool. Picks up a Molotov, it's not enough. 12-3 instead. K1 feeder ice cold on the clutch there in the end to deliver quite the half for Dynamo Eclot. That might have just ended off the map for them, or in their favor.
Well, again, you know, Eclot doing a lot of work. Got very dicey at the end, but couple of mistakes, especially at the end. You know, post-plant position, a bit unfortunate. Both teammates not anywhere to, you know, play the buddy system, frag for each other. and the likes. So in the end, it will be the round picked up by Eclot, who's 12-3. They win this pistol, then we're already looking towards Inferno.
I think we definitely are, yeah. Obviously, that's Eclot's map pick as well, so wouldn't expect any miracles on it. As Infinite Gaming are pushed back a little bit here. Just playing for the retake. Well, it does have a kit on him and a smoke.
Very open plant as well.
Yeah, they just get to do that open plant. No challenge from Infinite at all. They mostly retake here from CT, it looks like. But then Suits. Oh my goodness. Was K1 Feeder trying to flank mid? Doesn't get to anyways. Cirque has come in. That's a couple kills in Infinite's favor. Nubik trades it back, but it's still going to be CT on top as Detour goes down as well. I'm not sure if that's a well executed retake or a poorly executed T post plant, but
I mean, that's the thing. On CT side of Mirage, always, you have... That's my favorite strategy of the CT side in general. They execute towards the A bomb site. You've got, of course, the USB, so you've got the long range advantage. And you just wait until the utility is gone. You have one smoke, one defuse kit on you. All you have to do is just wait. The T's have no more utility whatsoever. You go for the retake, they don't have armor, they don't have utility, they have nothing. Yes, they got the bomb plant in, but they will most of the time lose the round because it's just so easy to clay. Like one smoke towards ramp, and that you've covered 80% of the position that can defend the bomb. Like one smoke is all you need on the CT side on Mirage A defense.
K1 Feeder as well. No armor on him. Interestingly enough. Does have the full health. He'll go in first here. After dropping off everything he had. Suits looking the wrong way. This could really go around. Suits maintains a vital kill. As Infinite may have just locked in a fifth. Some poor damage, or some poor health rather, on Eclot here should definitely secure it for the CT side.
Oh, it's still a bit scary. Because A defense has almost no HP either. But now that Valencio is dead, and Capson will be shut down by Zoots. They do have themselves a couple of rounds here on Infinite Gaming, forcing Eclot on towards an eco. And, I mean, they need to be like, what, 12-10 before I start believing?
Yeah, that's usually kind of my cap. I think when it's 12 and when you haven't got any T rounds yet, maybe a little bit less. But obviously in Eclot's case, you still kind of believe in that T have. And the mechanical skill for that matter. So I'd say maybe like the 8-9 range, I'd start to really consider it. But I think we're kind of on the same page, right? Just do need to see maybe 1 or 2 more gun rounds won, at the very least, to see Infinite as serious contenders on their own map pick.
And you also see a completely different playstyle from Infinite Gaming. Like, no aggression whatsoever, playing very passively, hoping for the T's to peek into you. And the downside of that is deagles.
Yeah.
Like, they hold an angle down, they just need to swap from angle to angle, and if you're just trying to hold them down, like, there's a chance that you get domed. Of course, you know, if you've got the aim, you can take them down first, but it's always that big threat against heavy deagle teams.
It's both K1 people left low. Does miss on his couple opportunities, so Flush gets to take him out. I've been really impressed by Cirque, by the way. He is kind of amongst the top, just statistically. Him and Suits are the ones who are typically sort of top on the scoreboard for what's quite a newly put together roster outside of Suits. They'd sort of swapped out everyone else. But Cirque has been, especially in this game, he feels like he's on that Eclot level in terms of the aim, where he's going toe to toe with them. Some of the other Infinite players maybe not quite as comfortable in that. Even in that round, picking up a free kick, he flashes in his teammate here of Zeus into middle, spots out one, not quite the kill. Pablo's in there as well to try and cover off middle. Maybe a slightly bit more aggression here on the CTs.
I do agree with you, Zerk. On the T side, like, he single-handedly won them 2 rounds by just walking in and headshotting everyone he encounters. So if you've got a player in your team that has the confidence to make that move, of course, because not everyone likes to go for the entry frags, that helps wonderfully. But on the other side, you do have Valencio, and well, they are a pretty scary lineup.
Oh,
all things considered. Nice boost coming out Caps and big cap coming in. And yeah, triple box, you're completely stuck. You're being pushed from 3 different angles. You've got an AWP. You can only focus on one. Shut down the last remaining CTs towards CT. Retaking this is going to be nigh impossible, especially with the bomb plant position and no kit and no smoke.
Yeah, a lot of a no, and then something. So
Are they actually going for it?
I think they're somewhere in the middle. Wolves might be able to recover an op there, but nope. Valencia wanted the beacon, and when he peeks in, that's typically the end of the discussion. He gets a free K in that round. It's Eclot on 13, and Infinite back in a bit of a rut, because now they definitely need to mount up a lot of rounds here before I start to really believe. And also, it turns into a must-win round for almost every round now. Forward for Infinite Gaming, at least for a little bit. Definitely including this one. If they lose this one, I think Mirage may be a lost cause for them.
Yeah, it's definitely no easy feat going forward. But
Flush, good shot.
Nice kill. Added in. Capson towards ramp.
Not one to be bested.
Trades, and yes, indeed. Oppers both stepping up.
Of course they are. K1 Feeder, meanwhile, with his strange pushes, so well timed. Impeccable stuff to get the first. Hides away as well to deliver quite the distraction for those A-site defenders. Laula's occupied by him, but does get the kill flash as well. Is in there, so Eclot limited down as Nubik does come back in. Laula's expecting it though, and that should be a 7th. In fact, Laula's making it so. All of the way, Laula's a big impact in that round alongside Flush, as they have closed the gap back down to 6 rounds and win in what was a must-win round.
I like that move of, K1, his teammates, they're starting a fight towards Palace, so that distracts the players out of connector. The moment he hears them shoot, he knows, okay, they're distracted right now, pushes through the smoke, catches one off guard, does get taken down by the secondary, but nonetheless, that's the good team communication. They know exactly what their jobs are on the side of Eclot, even though they lose the round because, well, to be fair, Flash on the CT op has been looking pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Definitely stepping up from what we saw on the T side, to be fair. T side opping, even though it's easier on Mirage than most maps, it's still not, like, easy peasy.
Unless you're Capson, yeah.
Well, yeah.
He still looked good, for sure, but I can see your point, Cirque. Flash in here on ramp. Did he spot the edge there, Valencia? Strange fight they engage in. No damage exchanged. Instead, damage is exchanged up on short. That's Laulez getting the opening in favor of Infinite there. Eclot focusing on the B site as a countermeasure with Waz and Laulez over there. Was a bit of a weak link for this game, unfortunately. Even if he had 1 or 2 strong rounds, most of them have not been super strong for him. He plays a supportive element here to Laulez, boosting him up. Staying on the site. There's only 40 seconds here. Infinite Gaming having another smoke to use here as well. Eclot might have to disrespect a smoker to really get through. Nubek straight into Laulez, who did get a second. Was in there as well with at least a trade. That's going to be plenty for the CTs as he stays alive as well. Well done, even if he goes down, it's Infinite in the man advantage. Oh, but then Flush goes down. And Eclot have the
Big
plant.
double from Dieter.
Yeah,
that's
massive
a huge
stuff.
double.
He actually
And the
gets
boost on
boosted
the
up as
site?
well. Yeah, that's insane. On low
This
health.
could be dangerous. Yeah, this is actually nuts. Like, right now, it's all on to Zerg. Of course, if there's anyone left alive, you want it to be him.
Oh,
But does he expect the angle? Both of them 1 bullet away from dropping, and indeed, this should not be checked whatsoever. Who would even ever consider the possibility? But a 2v4 in the favor of Eclot. That was superb by Dieter.
you mentioned it as if there's any possibility of. I'm less dumbfounded at the fact that anyone would peek that. Sorry. But anyone would consider doing that is outrageous. I love that, just based on him having such a low health as well, right? Where a heads-up duel would surely net him a bit of a defeat in the angle. And he just does that. A nice gimmick that pays off massively. Eclot just looking for the match point, then they kick it off just as they intend to go on. Waz and Flash will try to make it back, at least a kill there from Flash, but he's gone. And so are most of the chances here for Infinite Gaming. Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah, that's a wrap. That is Mirage gone.
Yeah, you'd probably say. Suits does what he can, but not good enough in that time frame.
One plus I do have to say for Infinite Gaming is, well, we saw Eclot, like, the problem for Infinite Gaming was the aggression from Eclot on their CT side. Like, on their CT side of Infinite Gaming, like, they look pretty decent. They're trading rounds with Eclot to a solid degree. Of course, right now they're losing, but, like, you can see that they can play. But the aggression from Eclot was really what did them in on their... on Eclot's CT side.
Yeah.
Inferno is a lot tougher to be aggressive on the CT side. Like, you've got banana push, you got maybe the mid push and apps, but like apps is something that most teams don't even consider touching. Mid is like you can do it once, maybe twice per half. And banana, yeah, I guess banana is the only place, but you get a bit too aggressive, you get bombarded out of the server.
Meanwhile, Suits just digs a couple out.
What? Yeah, that was 2 shots, 2 kills.
The typical... I forgot what I called it. I had a term for this back in the day where it's something like match point hangover syndrome or something like that, where I'm sure you've sensed this too. Yep. Yeah, you just get to match point like, and then you're you're ahead by too much, so you just automatically lose the round because you kind of forget that you're playing in a game. As I feel like they were kind of thinking like you were thinking of that round. You were talking so much about Inferno, and I think they were almost in that mindset of thinking about the next map. That round in the end and forced onto just the pistols here. What's kind of a half bite. Moving quickly into that A site. Suits has it covered, so does Cirque. The C stepping up to deliver what's a very, very difficult entry into the site. In fact, Valencia was left all alone before any bomb is planted. And then he'll face a flush and not get a bomb planted at all. That's 15-9. And that's Eclot on just a half bite here. I do like... I was going to bring it up. Again, the kill distribution has been really even for Eclot all along. If we're not taking this round too seriously from them. I really love the Detour addition. He's a little bit up and down sometimes, but I think he really gives them a spark that they otherwise don't have. He opens up a couple angles that are just like a little bit odd. Plays a lot of those oath angles. Can hit shots like that, but it's K1 feeder to deliver on the 2. Maybe we should take them seriously in this round. But yeah, since joining, Detour just been a healthy addition since joining at the end of February. That's all I was gonna say. He has the Deagle here as well. And there it is!
Okay, never mind, like...
The Deagles.
Who cares? Yeah, that's just pretty nuts, though. Waz and Flash both getting a kill apiece. Makes it dicey, but now they know where both CTs are. That's the one very big downside here. They can play it, and indeed they're trying to, because... MBQQ is on that B bomb site.
Yeah, Nubik has the entirety of that B site. I guess Waz is up on short, but not quite close for the rotate. And Nubik could actually make some damage here and mark it. Waz is ready for it though. And that is some very good game awareness. He has more to find. They know now that it's B the CTs, but it's only Flash left. As the bomb does get down to prolong this first map. And Mirage, he hits the first shot. Detour. All that's left now. He peeks the angle. And he's got to get it down. 16-9 turns out to be the score instead. What a great first map for Dynamo Eclot after a strong first half on the CT side. They eventually close it out on T side. No complaints, right? If you're Eclot.
No, got a little bit dicey on their T side, but that's to be expected. Later in the CT side, in the T side of Infinite Gaming, they also got better along the lines of the game, so they started working together well, and they started finally fragging, so it does bode well for Infinite Gaming heading in towards the next map. Of course, it's going to be the map pick of Eclot, so you always have that in the back of your mind, but I definitely think that Inferno will be a lot closer between these two teams, because I had my doubts at the start of this map, but I definitely can see that Infinite Gaming are also solid enough to take it aggressively against the Eclot lineup.
Yeah, we'll have to find out, I suppose, after the break. We'll be back in just a little bit there for Inferno. As you brought up, that's the Eclot map pick. They look to close it out here, 2-0 to advance. to the semifinals, to the playoffs, straight ahead and get that first place in Group B. We'll find out if they do, or if maybe we can get to even an Ancient here in just a little bit. See you right back in a moment for map number 2.
Cast your spell, spill your magic. There's nothing more that I want now. Use me up, make me manic. For when these ends of days drawing low, I'll be where the river flow. I'll go wherever you go. 'Cause I wanna know what it's like to be loved by you. I wanna know what it's like, wanna know what it's like to be loved by you, loved by you. Catch that hope. Catch that hope. Catch that hope. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. No. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no.
Never gon' give, never gon' give, never gon' give you up. Never gon' give, never gon' give. Never gon' give, never gon' give, never gon' give you up. Never gon' give, never gon' give. Never gon' give, never gon' give you up. Never gon' give. Never gon' give, never gon' give you up. Never gon' give. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Burning like the sun, loyal as a soldier, kneeling at the stars, hoping that we'll be right. We'll be right. You'll be home. You gotta help me out, help me out. Riding coasters to dream your eyes. You gotta help me out, help me out. Swimming oceans to breathe your life. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Ticking like a bomb, falling in motion, center of the stage, hoping that we'll be right. Back again. You gotta help me out, help me out. Riding coasters to dream your eyes. You gotta help me out, help me out. Swimming oceans to breathe your life. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight.
your eyes, seek paradise. Won't change your mind, can't shake the lights. I'll take the chance and roll the dice. I want it all, just for the night. I live it out like I'll never die. I lose my head in the starry skies. Can't chain you down, I feel so alive. Back down, only one way out. I let you run my life. Now you won't get me down. Untamed, guess I lost my mind. You turn me inside out. No one can stop me now. So turn up the light, turn up the light. This is what I waited for, 'cause the clock keeps ticking, hard for me to keep up. I can't take it no more, 'cause the time keeps turning, feels just like it speeds up. It's what I waited for. Close your eyes, seek paradise. Won't change your mind, can't shake the light. I'll take the chance and roll the dice. Just wanna feel the stars surround, the atmosphere never to come down. I'll stand alone, whether right or wrong. It takes me home, right where I belong. Back down, only one way out. I let you run my life. Now you won't get me down. Untamed, guess I lost my mind. You turn me inside out. No one can stop me now. So turn up the light, turn up the light. This is what I waited for, 'cause the clock keeps ticking, hard for me to keep up. I can't take it no more. This is what I waited for, 'cause the clock keeps ticking, hard for me to keep up. I can't take it no more, 'cause the time keeps turning, feels just like it speeds up. It's what I waited for.
Close your eyes. Would you dream for me some paradise? Tell me who you see, 'cause I think I do want you next to me. Want you next to me, but does this work? 'Cause I know I can't get to you. I like the chase, and I know you do too. Am I just in love with the idea of you? 'Cause I'd cross a million seas. Would you do that for me? Yeah, I'd fly this whole world twice if I could be your paradise. dream for me some paradise. Tell me who to me, but does this work? Only 'cause we never say what we think. Waiting for the perfect way. Time zone speak. Got me on delay. 'Cause across a million seas, would you do that for me?
Welcome, welcome. We're back. Map number 2 on the way here between Dynamo, Eclot, Infinite Gaming. I'm here, Strom is. DK is here to watch Eclot potentially close it out or Infinite Gaming get into Ancient as the decider. We're actually, you know what? Let's just jump in, right? BK?
Yeah,
There's
why
no time.
wait?
Yeah, there's no time to just sort of muck about. You have to just get into Inferno as Eclot get absolutely nailed down. Cable Vita still comes up with 2 kills though. The Suits trades it right back. Eclot in a chaotic round still end up on top. What is that? Do you have any great analysis on
just
it?
Flexing. No, just flexing. Just flexing. That's just it. That's the power of Eclot. They're just really good. I mean, K1 has also, on the first map, been one of the more impressive performers. A lot of very solid rounds defending that B-bomb site. And definitely looking like a solid performer for the Eclot roster. I honestly am pretty impressed. I've seen them a couple of times, but that was like ages ago for me that I saw Eclot play, and I'm definitely pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. I mean, one of their strongest maps here as well on Inferno. Taking down Mirage 69 there for anyone that missed it. That was Infinite's map pick. Eclot definitely picking this one rightly, I'd say. One of their strongest maps. It's one that they like to play against some stronger opponents and have actually beaten some impressive opponents on in the past quite a bit. The likes of Nexus, we've talked about them as a tournament favourite alongside Dynamo Eclot. They won 16-4, did Eclot, in that series they had not too long ago. When Dieter was just coming into the roster. A bomb site here with Infinite's Deagle hiding away. Was who struggled on map 1, trying to find a way. No. Good on the first clip there. The 7 bullets.
They're looking to rake in some cash on the T side, but gotta be a bit careful not to lose everyone. Nonetheless, Mac Daddy makes a lot of money. That's why they're getting so incredibly aggressive. But the Mac Daddy needs to get a lot closer to have an advantage against those Eagles. And yeah, they're kind of a little... Okay. Don't pick up the Mac 10 then. Nonetheless, they are trying to rush them down. How many kills do you think the CTs can gain to get another one? Oh, it seems not to be the case. I do like one thing about Inferno, if it's a map you choose. Most teams decide to go towards the CT side, because that's like everyone goes to the CT side on like every map. And Inferno is not necessarily a map where the CTs immediately get an advantage. It's a map where, you know, it does... Depending on the season, it changes between a CT-sided or a T-sided map, which I love. But it's a lot of very aggressive teams are immensely strong on the T side of Inferno, and that's why picking it actually is very advantageous.
For sure. Especially when you are strong teams in general. Kept them getting a trade there. Pretty simple round for them. Eclot are definitely part of a group of strong T-side teams, even on Inferno. They actually win a majority of their rounds on that T-side, only by a slight margin. Only about... Even if they win a little bit more in terms of the percentage, it's about 57% win rate on CT and 50... yeah, just under 57 on the T-side. They are just really strong. I think we brought this up on Mirage as well, right? Just so strong after getting the first kill. Win so many of those rounds. And then they get the first kill very often, so that's kind of a strong duo as well. Like about almost 80% of the rounds on Inferno. Getting that 5-on-4 advantage.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a pretty scary team, especially in this tournament right now.
Yep.
All the other teams are warned. I'm definitely looking forward towards a matchup if they would face up against Nexus, because that's just gonna look amazing. The
And
AWP.
Isuba. Don't forget Isuba on the way. You know?
Isuba, of course. You know, have that Czech battle to see who's number 2.
Behind Sinners, you mean? I think.
Yeah.
But after challenge for that crown a little bit later, it's Eclot here for now, challenging on the A site. Plenty of CTs waiting, but Eclot head for apartments. No one in pit actually to guard them off. A strange setup for the CTs who hide away for quite a bit of time here through the smokes. Valencia trying to find an opening, but it's a deadlock somehow. Valencia finally comes through. Only a trade. Suits is there though to also die off. And Cirque is left all alone on this site. He had a good Mirage. He tries to step up here as well. He gets one. Oh, and a second as well. Cirque to maintain this round after all. It's Slowness to go down, but Cirque stays alive for a little bit longer to leave Was with a possible 1-on-2, even as he himself fell down. So a bomb plant for Eclot here, but 1-on-2 still for Was possible.
He could drop the bomb carrier if he's got some good timing, because K1 needs to get towards the site quickly. It's surprising that, I mean, if Was has, it's just a couple of steps faster, this could be an easy round pickup, but he walks towards the site, gets the plant going. Capson, though, from behind, is he gonna expect Was? Indeed, he spots a nice, easy headshot. But does he expect the player that planted to be on the site? Well, he does eventually check it, but K1 finishes it off. And Eclot, 4-0 lead. I really, really like that round from Infinite Game. Yes, they lost, but I love the fact that they left pit completely.
It was interesting.
And then just, you know, because the T's, they threw their smokes. They had a wall of smokes so that, like, they could have their battle in pit. But then once the smoke dissipates, how are you going to get towards site?
Yeah, it was an interesting dynamic for sure. Infinite Gaming, who still don't end up with... I don't love... You were speaking about how you still love that setup on the A side. I don't love how it was playing that 1-on-2. I mean, he kind of didn't do the math right. Both, as you said, going in a little bit late, but also probably should have figured that the bomb was being planted at the other corner when he spotted out Capson. And then he just sort of felt a little bit confused, and you can't be unsure when you're peeking in against K1 feed up. It's going to take your head off every time, like Flush does there to Valencia. Otherwise, a quiet round for Infinite Gaming, who seem to still be ending up with a winless record so far. Similar start to what we had on Mirage, where Eclot were able to get off to quite the start and obviously turn that into eventually a 12-3 half in the first half. And maybe something similar on the cards here, looking at just the first 5 rounds.
Next round, I expect Flash to bring out the AWP. Got 3 kills. He's trying to make that T economy hurt. They have a reasonable amount on 2 of their players, but not everyone. So this is actually pretty good to make sure that the T's dwindle their funds. And if you can keep that AK alive as well, that would be wonderful. Yeah. That should indeed be the case.
Yeah, Nubik could have definitely had him there, but doesn't check the kitchen. Who would ever do that on this level, DK? Just go into kitchen like some matchmaking saber.
Well, you know, always try to hide in the places no one expects, in plain sight.
The double psychology almost. So bad it's good.
It's just like the classic hide and T-spawn, they'll never figure it out.
We'll see if they figure out the fact that Infinite do have an op on their side. Flash in with it, peeking out towards that B site. Good shot on Detour. And actually keep around 3 players on B. Would have almost expected an early rotate off of it, because Eclot can do the math now. With an op playing on one site, typically you'd have 2 more there. They push up a little bit higher. Suits trying to make it back. He spots out Nubik, has him down. And he can run off. And that's with a 5-on-3 in his back pocket. Valencio turns it right back though. And Suits is all of a sudden left quite lonely up here. He goes down as well. It's Flash to bring it back. And at least keep that man advantage. Bomb will go down though for Eclot.
That was so well played by Valencio. He sees the flash coming in, knows his opponent can't have his gun in his hands, peeks out of Palace, Apps gets the kill, and he spots the secondary player falling towards pit.
And look at K1. moving up as Maui spots out Was. He gets him down. He gets a second as
Oh
well.
lord.
Flash to peek him. He gets it down to 1-on-1 at least. Capson in amongst it. Waiting to peek out himself. The AWP
Yeah, he's been spotted.
getting
Fake flash?
against the AWP. Capson with a fake flash, with a fake juke. Coming back and forth. The time running out. Flash doesn't have any left. And Capson wins it out. Just playing timidly against his AWP counterpart and retrieving the AWP as a result. Eclot keep it. Flawless there, even after a rocky start. It was Valencio, K1 getting 2 kills each. And the Capson in that 1-on-1. I'm not sure who deserves more credit, Valencio or K1 in that situation. I guess Valencio did definitely turn that round around, right?
Yeah, he opened that site. Otherwise, it would have been absolutely disastrous.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was also looking disastrous if K1 they can hold each other's hands because they both did an absolutely stellar job.
Right.
Capson somehow sees Was. I don't know how people can see anyone in that situation. Even I had X-ray and I just saw a blur.
Cirque being heard here over on the B side as well. That's a dangerous piece to give up if you're Infinite, but then meanwhile Flash has come through to at least get the 1 and Cirque there as well. Actually went for an audacious peek. Not quite gonna result in much. Suits meanwhile takes the fight up here. And Apartments wins that one. To make the round really interesting now, having the 2 rifles retrieved for Eclot. Obviously that man advantage, the smoke from the T side to fake out towards A Cirque. Not drawn in fully, he'll stay up on Banana though. With no utility to use for him. Backs away now, just in time for Sandbox. It's K1 ready for it.
Timing.
He just has an impeccable sense of timing, doesn't he? And that game awareness gets the bomb down. And it's
That
a
was
2-on-2.
just so unfortunate. The worst moment to jump. The absolute worst moment. Like, he was actually aimed already at the top of sandbags, thinking, oh, you know, maybe.
K1 is ridiculous. Gets a second there, peeks back in, Suits will finally take him down. He has tagged, Capson does the rest.
Of course,
7-0 for
Capson
Eclot.
does the rest. You know,
Yeah.
7-0 for Eclot. He's 10-3, top fragging in the server. You saw his absolutely phenomenal opping as well on the previous map. And right now, of course, he got that AWP nicely from Flash previously.
Yeah.
But Inferno is also not an oppers map for T side. A lot of top tier oppers don't even pick up the AWP on the T side. They just like to stick with the 5 AKs because there's like 2 solid angles for the T side. Once you get close to the sites, there are so many corners that need to be checked. Especially the A-bomb site. It's horrible for a T opper to cross in there.
I do like how they're using him though. And again, I brought it up on the road, not quite being the star. Instead, the likes of Nubik getting to open up in the fragging that time. Cirque caught off. He has been getting caught off quite a bit on this map so far. Flash will want to return that, creeping closer in Arch. The flash is so good. And Nubik has the double spray down again. As Eclot may be on course for an 8-0 lead. They clear out the A site, but nothing here to clear. As the CTs will wait out in CT instead. But I brought it up on Mirage, didn't I? With Capson, even if he's putting up great stats and had the 20 kills on Mirage, as you mentioned, 10 kills here so far, it doesn't really feel like he's being propelled as the star man of the team, like most oppers are. He gets to cap off, excuse the pun, a lot of these rounds, and is sort of like a supplementary factor more so than like the pivotal round turner on that AWP.
Yeah, he's like, that's the plus side of how Eclot are performing in general in this series, I would say, is that you can pretty much rely on what is he doing? You can rely on everyone. I think Capson's AFK. Yeah, Capson seems to be AFK. Oh, does of course not die whatsoever. But yeah, like, you have the possibility, which not every team has, to have a teammate that holds an angle. You're playing a buddy system, a crossfire setup, and you can trust your teammate to hold the angle and keep you alive. And in a lot of teams, there's always, you know, 1 or 2 players where you kind of have in the back of your mind, you know, I need to check behind me every once in a while. You don't have complete faith, and Eclot are playing like they have complete faith.
Yeah, and only been around, I mean, with this 5, right? Detour only joining again at the end of February, so even him getting trusted and vice versa is impressive, I think, for Eclot, as Nubik gets flashed in here. A site, Suits just about keeps them in check. 5-on-5, but then K1 Fida entering up instead on B. Infinite Gaming, left, right, and center punches coming at them right now as they get attacked just all over the map. Finally a kill back, but maybe not enough as Waz looks for more. He does get a second. And that base site is there, but then again, Eclot, again with that, just so many attacks all over the map, get that ace site for free as a result. And this controlled, chaotic style they have in this round specifically gets them a free A-bomb site and probably Infinite Gaming just saving here on the two remaining players.
I mean, this is just like perfect. Valencia gets a kill into the B bomb site.
Yep. Right. Yep.
Calls it towards his teammates that are actually like they are on the B bomb site. Like they were actually in on B. It's like he calls A is empty.
Yeah, it's like that old, isn't it? Like that old Furia clip where they were like fake planting the bomb on B on Inferno and then just like run across the entire map. It's kind of like that, exactly what they were doing. That sort of again controlled chaos.
Yeah, really well done. The discipline as well needed to just not continue on towards the B bomb site, but being like, okay, you're playing for the win. This is just playing for the win, not playing your own game, which we did see a couple of times on Mirage where they were like, you know, YOLO, let's just go for frags. Here, full patience, commitment to making it towards the playoffs.
And that's
I mean,
why
it is a
9-0.
10k tournament, 10k prize pool tournament with what first prize gets 7k. Oh.
Yeah, it's a crazy. I think I've noticed. I think I've noted it before. You get 7k for first place, 3k for second, nothing for the rest. It's like a full on. It's like the full on. If you win, you get everything. If you lose, you're worth nothing, basically. And I think I'm not necessarily against that in any way. Eclot certainly looked like they could make it.
Probably make it like
at least to the final, right?
You know, if you make it to the playoffs, you get something. Maybe last place, you know, fourth place gets $500. Yeah, but I would love, you know, a little bit more spread. To be fair, 7k for first place. First place 7k, like that's, you know, that is definitely worth it. Like you want, you need that first place. You're not gonna be like, oh yeah, second place, third place, you know, it's still at least something. No, first place or bust.
For sure. And Lawless actually killed one each there to bring back after K1 Fida ripped up the banana defense. That leaves us in a free on free where Eclot instead look for that A site. 2 players still on it, but Valencio, the curious George of this series, jumping back across on the balcony. Doesn't realize there's one on short though. That's rough. That might really put them in a pickle. Nubik in on the site, sure, but they'll have to get the bomb there as well, as Flash will hear that. He gets the kill. That might just swing the round and make it a first for Infinite. Just after the timeout, they get one back. Largely through Flash. And that's going to be 1-9.
A great hold. Look at Flash. Like, this 13. Is... Like, he's of course, the star opera for the Infinite side. But this is, like... I love to see it. It is, however, a big problem if you've only got one person stepping up. Suits, of course, doing a decent amount as well, but like Flash is miles ahead of anyone else in this team. Yeah.
And it was decent last map, I thought. Cirque was in there, getting a lot of kills on the board. Laula certainly contributing, but as you mentioned here, it's not quite the case. Haven't really held up in a lot of these angles, specifically Cirque. Looked a little bit dimmer on this map. Getting caught off a lot here in the middle. He'll try his luck again. He smokes off the angle. Valencio back up at apartments as always. Suits to cover him. Pivotal fight up there. It's a double team actually on Valencio who goes down. Cirque gets charged down on the arch. He gets caught off again. But it is still that 4-on-4.
Arches. Oh,
yeah. A little bit rough. Still gonna be 4-on-4 though.
Yeah, it's still definitely doable, especially considering the T utility is 1 Molly, 1 Flash, 1 Smoke. Which does mean that B is most likely the position that you're going to take, because with 1 Smoke, Flash, and Molly, like, you can take B. A is near impossible to take with that amount of utility.
Yeah, I agree, and certainly they feel the same way. Capsule will be flashing over here as a probably a late CT smoke is what we're looking at. Lala's starting to rotate over towards that B site now, but it will probably be covered off with just a smoke was. Frozen Molotov, they'll have to go ahead of that, and they do. Disrespect it completely was. Lawless jumping through the smoke now as Was has got one. He gets traded. Lawless is in there, but it's Detour to get him down. To silence him as Capson is there as well. And that's how you flipped around. Eclot comes straight back in it. It's Flash alone. Has put up some wonderful numbers so far, but only with one initially. Needs two more here to clutch it all out to make it two. On the bounce for Infinite Gaming, gets mollied off. That is well executed from Capson. Smoke is there for Flash, but time being wasted for sure. So he tries to enter through the site. He taps that bomb, sticks on it. Nubik sprays him down. And it's 10-1 to Eclot. Just the same scoreline as we had at one point on Mirage, and that did not go in Infinite's favor. Eclot looking for the 2-0 here.
Yeah, it's again the problem of like Flash. He's the last one left, of course. Right now, you kind of want him to be the one that's alive, trying to go for the clutch. But they were in a 4-on-4, and his team just gets shredded. Like seconds, and B bomb site is lost. They had one smoke, one flash, and that was all they had on the side of Eclot to try and get the site. Oh, that shot! And you did call out that Zerg is having a pretty tough game, and you know it's not helping if you just get picked out of the sky.
Yeah, again, to be clear, the map specifically, he's had a good. I think he had really good Mirage, but he's getting caught off here against what feels like a more comfortable team in Eclot on this very map, and that makes sense considering it is their map pick. They try to head back towards that B site now, and have just the one rifle to face over there, but Walls could definitely provide a distraction as Lawless holds the tight angle. Walls in there, gets shot down. Lawless trying to go for the refrag, but nothing of the sort. And again, you brought it up before, the trust between these Eclot players, holding different angles, not needing to really double peek on anyone. Sort of expecting their teammate to win the fight every time. And that leads them straight into that 3-on-2, which Suits and Flash will try to go for. No kit for either of them. That's a bit of a delay, gets caught out for Flash. Suits will try to make his move from Banana now. Peeks in, K1 immediately into it. Headshotted out of the round, and Flash left with...
It was the one with 11 HP that was pushing Banana first. Like, he was the front runner, 11 HP, gets the kill, and right now he's the one to peek towards Banana as well, to get the secondary. With 11 HP, so much faith that he's going to be opening up the areas that you just love to see it. And
but he does, because he's just so good, right? Just those headshots every time.
He is just that good. Like 14-6 right now. His previous game as well, he had like the B bomb site defense was his every single time.
Yeah.
He's just a powerhouse for the Eclot lineup.
They have so many skilled rifles. Even some of the stats, they don't look impressive on this map, but it's because they barely even need to frag. Just look at the scoreline, that kind of is evidenced. And it is definitely those rifles doing a lot of the lifting. Again, more of a supplementary factor in the Capson, who hasn't needed to frag a lot in the previous couple rounds as Suits come in here. Actually does pick that one up on Valencio, no refrag over there. Instead, Detour gets shut down on B, and all of a sudden they're left in the 2-on-4. Where it's Nubik and Capson. Only to see, what is that push from Suits?
You have a 2-man advantage. There's literally no reason to go for that aggressive push through the smoke. Like, play again the refrag positions. Now your defense, like they had a 2-2 defense. Now they're playing 1.5 and 1.5 defense. You've got Flash roaming a bit between the two. If he gets caught off, they could go either side. Luckily enough, he catches MBQQ walking through the smoke himself. And a very strange off angle from Zerg will eventually get Infinite Gaming their second round. But it's those moves through the smoke that are just very high risk, low reward.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Eclot, I don't know. It still feels like any round that they lose, I have to see a bit of a streak out of Infinite before I start to believe it. It feels like most of these one rounds
that helps.
Are kind of flukes. Eclot even trying to help out Infinite in doing some initial friendly fire. Flash is there, peeking in, good shot. Deep into Banana, he hit that one. And Detour,
I mean, he's just doing his job.
Yeah.
Like, he's going beyond doing his job.
Dieter has been getting caught off as well. Kind of the Cirque, but for Eclot in this map. Been caught off a lot in those types of angles and unfortunate angles sometimes. Not even his fault.
Yeah,
that
everyone
time.
has those games where it feels like you're always the target
Yep.
wherever you peek. Look at second mid being pushed as well by the CT side. This is something that Infinite Gaming have barely done. Get aggressive on their CT side. So
Oh my god. This could
This is
really
actually-
pay off, but also high risk, high reward stuff. K1 Feeder gets 1 kill, but it suits to pick up the 2 to leave Valencia all alone. He does win that fight without any damage, but then immediately walks into Laules. And so Infinite do have a second round in a row and a third round on the board total. With Eclot on very limited money here coming into the final round.
but it's Inferno, you just pick up Tech 9's Rush B.
Alright.
The old classic.
I guess you've sold it, DK. That's how to play CS.
I mean, that is pretty much, to be fair, that's kind of also on Mirage, like every map. You know, Tech 9's Rush B.
Sure.
What map do you not Tech 9
Vertigo.
Rush B? Vertigo. Yeah, no, but yeah, okay. Vertigo is like the map that's horrible to go B.
Yep. Overpass against good teams. It was.
Yeah, but it's
AWP
still...
gone. Oh no. It might have worked, DK. I think you might be right on this one. K1 Feeder picks up the AWP, and that's a scary sight. As as Nubik actually gets that kill behind. Oh, and they just rack up the kills. It's like they had the rifles all along. And 12 rounds for Eclot again.
I should be a team coach, because, you know, when in doubt, no money, Tech 9 Rush B. It's the dumbest play in the book, but it works.
Wow.
It just straight up works. You toss 2 mollies there, back to back, and the T's get burned.
They didn't get burned. They just
Nope.
disrespected the one Molotov, yeah, because they only had the one. And the AWP obviously not ideal for that angle. I feel like he could have played the further behind role. A lot of critiques for not just that round, but for the entire Infinite half, which almost felt like a worse. Both first halves were 12-3 here, Mirage and Verno. That half felt worse in some ways. Infinite will try to make it work on the T side now, but we'll have to get quite the streak here, including the pistol round. They do get the 1 kill on the A site, but plenty coming right back at them. If Nubik can
Bomb
caps it,
dropped.
as K1 Feeder is in there, they get
Three
distracted on
CTs,
short,
yeah.
no bomb, and
Nothing. Like, you already had Eclot pushing a player down banana and having 4 CTs towards the A bomb site. Like, they already preemptively rotated the moment that they realized something, that it was going to be an A rush. And Infinite Gaming, they just get overwhelmed. They try to play a fast play, which of course, you know, on pistol round especially, it's pretty solid to try and take A, because it's a bit surprising, especially if you have a bit of utility, flash, smoke, whatnot. But yeah, Eclot's just too good. Like, they are definitely a step above in this series right now.
I agree. I'd say a few steps ahead. But Cirque is there to put them a step forward. Suits takes a step right back. Captain on the spray. He can play with that rifle as well, can't he?
He's
With
got
2
14
kills.
HP and goes for that hyper-aggressive peek afterwards. That's
Doesn't
just
die.
nuts. I mean, but that's luck.
If we're doing results-based calculating of the risk, then it was a good risk. Oh, he just goes for it again. Why not? The 4K for Capson on the M4 A1S. That's 14 for Eclot. And a really tough comeback attempt that I barely get that sentence out before I end up having to stop myself. With Eclot just up by quite a bit now.
Yep, they are definitely.
Are they
bit
favorites
ahead.
for you ahead of Nexus? You've watched both.
Oof, that's a tough one. I think Nexus had a couple of tougher opponents, so
Interesting.
not of course to disparage Infinite Gaming.
Yeah,
but
I don't
they
disagree.
have a free win.
Yep.
So this is their first game in the tournament, but they're not looking that great. I definitely think that they can take Offset.
That'll be an interesting one, yeah.
But it's going to be, you know, you're going to have everyone step up. You can't just have Flash in the lead and hope that he does it. Because Offset, even though, like, they're always the team that you expect it to be, you know, the big team in the region. But you know, another team that is always overshadowed by Saw.
Right.
And that's kind of like the thing with this tournament. For most teams, that's the case, but not for Nexus. Nexus is the top dog from Romania.
Yeah. A lot of others have that superiority complex, I think, but not this time. As Eclot fall victim to yet again. It's that, what did I call it again? Match point, hangover, something, syndrome. Again, they get to match point and then they need some, out of nowhere, just a bit of a brick wall. Detour at least gets a kill back. They can actually still win this round. With him picking up an AK, was tumbling over,
Bomb drop.
Really bad mistake. Maybe there was no hangover after all. Detour still looking to close it out as Eclot have become the Group B first place team. They get into the playoffs now. Into a
Who was the first team that they were going to face?
ambush.
Isuba?
Oh wait, who? Oh, in the semi-finals, right?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, actually, Eclot they are to face, I believe now with the bracket, how it turns out, the second place team from Group A being Isuba, and then on the other side of the bracket, Nexus to be playing against either Offset or Infinite Gaming. Those playoffs will be coming up, even just from starting tomorrow, I think, and then we'll be going all weekend, essentially. That Offset
All weekend,
Infinite game,
like...
I
think tomorrow is 2 matches, and then Saturday is like the finals. And
sure, absolutely.
Sunday's a nice rest day because that's how God intended it to be.
Right. I was just gonna let them know, BK, before we sign off. Offset versus Infinite is the game coming up next. That's gonna be in just a little bit here, maybe about an hour or so. We'll start with that stream. Should be a really fun one, as the two opponents trying to fight it out for that final playoff spot. The loser going home, the winner getting to play Nexus. Not a privilege I love, but they will have that privilege coming into the playoffs. Whoever wins that next game, for now, will secure Dynamo Eclot as one of the top dogs of the tournament. They get to play against Isuba next as they win this Group B. Yeah, we'll be back, I guess, in that hour then for Offset versus Infinite, and we'll see you back then. Until then, take care. Bye for now.
I can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same. Oh